Oh, rap is so much easier than poetry.
Um, Explain your love for when did you fall in love with poetry?
I don't know if I did. um, like I had an assignment in one of my classes where we had to write a poem, and at that time, I had like two aunts that had passed away. One of my friends from high school had gotten like hit by a car and died. And I wrote this poem. It was called Death. Right. It was long as hell, and I was just in there venting, and I was just like just talking. And I remember I performed it at this poetry competition, and the niggas had to like damn near Apollo like yank me off the stage, like because I was just up there just reading my shit, making everybody sad in that motherfucker. So people pulled me off, and they was like, "Yo, I see where you trying to go with it, but you gotta like hone in a little bit on a lane." And then I started writing some poetry for the girls, at the time. So I started to find my flow, and eventually I got to the point where I was starting to talk about way more of my life. I was talking about like shit that problems I had with my dad, or like growing up was a certain way, and things like that. And over time, I just got better and better and better at it, to the point where I started doing contests and performances and competitions and things like that.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel like you're so good at poetry because you are listening to you from the start of this conversation, you spoke that you were kind of reserved and not really emotional, right? So do you feel like you are good at poetry because you, even though you're reserved, you let your feelings out through poetry instead of walking down the street, like no one would know that you were mad and going through a whole bunch of shit. Write it down on a paper.
Yeah, it became my therapy before I knew what therapy was.